A characteristic of early Friends was their ability to travel and to use appropriate technology. Friends needed ships, they got ships. Friends needed a podium, they stood on a rock. Mary Fisher needed to get to Turkey, she took a ship and then she walked. Friends today still need to do that travel and to use appropriate technology.
One of the challenges that it has placed on churches and on meetings is that as human beings we need that personal touch sometimes, that close interaction, one-to-one interaction.
How can we cross the greatest distances, both in terms of socioeconomic distances, cultural, national differences, theological differences? How can we use that for those specific areas? I think the technology gives insight to what's a need in El Salvador, for example, or Bolivia, or West Virginia. And the Friends World Committee for Consultation is helping that happen by pushing this experiment along creatively.
The visitation goal includes both consultations and the Travel and Technology Fund. Consultations are on topics of concern to Friends and the wider world. Consultations are gathering friends to talk to each other about topics that are of concern to Friends and that matter to the wider world. This fund will pay for the costs of events, of the travel and accommodations of participants in those meetings, but also the software, hardware, internet access, and training to be able to use the technology to enable more Friends to participate in these conversations. The second half of the Visitation Fund is for the Travel and Technology Fund to support the participation of all Friends in the gatherings of the Section of the Americas. These may include section meetings, consultations, youth gatherings, or other events to be determined in the future. The goal for the visitation part of our campaign is $200,000. $100,000 is to support consultations and all of their expenses. The other $100,000 is to support the travel and technology funds for all of the other events of the Section of the Americas.
To benefit more from worship, you may have to be a participant in the worship rather than a listener. While it is that you may not be able to touch the person physically, you may be able to touch the person spiritually from what you're saying. So being able to open up a presentation to somebody who is within another country, within another meeting, within another space, you may be able to touch that person based on what you present to them spiritually.
Well, as I look at the history of Quakerism, it's clear to me that Quakerism has always been an experimental religion. We're always trying new things. Some of them fall by the wayside, some of them are amazing experiments that propel us into the future.
But we also hold in another hand the wisdom tradition that we carry. And we try to make sure the technology does not overcome the wisdom, but rather the wisdom guides how we use these new exciting tools of communication.